Once upon a time, in the city of Lagos, at a particular night, there was a heavy downpour. Thunder struck across the city, and the city was flooded. Two girls were born on the same day, only hours apart. In a well-equipped private hospital on Victoria Island, Aisha Adebola was welcomed into the world with prayers, laughter, and promises of greatness. Her parents were influential, wealthy, and well connected. People who believed life was meant to be conquered. Across the lagoon, in a crowded government hospital on the mainland, Zainab Musa cried her first cry in the hospital. Her parents held her with trembling hands. Thankfully, she survived childbirth. They had little money, but deep love, believing hard work and faith would one day lift their child above poverty. Neither family knew that fate had already written a shared beginning for these two girls. Years later, destiny placed both families in the same bustling Lagos neighborhood, a crowded but lively urban community where the rich and the poor lived side by side. The streets were alive with hawkers, keke drivers, music coming from shops, and children running barefoot in the sun. Aisha lived in a fenced compound with painted walls and a standby generator. Zainab lived in a small cramped apartment where rainwater sometimes entered into the house. Despite these differences, the girls find each other at a young age. They played in the same street, shared the same dusty football fields, and chased the same dreams under the Lagos sun. Aisha and Zainab quickly became inseparable. They shared snacks, secrets, and childish dreams of becoming a successful woman. When Aisha's parents bought her toys, she shared them with Zainab. When Zainab's mother cooked, she fed Aisha generously. Neighbors often laugh, saying the girls were born twins from different wombs. Their friendship was pure, free from envy, no competition or bitterness. At that time, they believed nothing could ever separate them. As they grew older, reality began to set in quietly. Aisha attended a well-known private school with air-conditioned classrooms and qualified teachers. Zainab attended a crowded public school with broken desks and insufficient books. Every afternoon, Zainab watched Aisha return home in neat uniforms, her confidence growing. Though Zainab smiled and congratulated her friend, a small ache began forming in her heart, an ache she did not understand. Teenage years came. Aisha's parents spoke about university abroad or in top Nigeria institutions. Zainab's parents struggled daily just to keep food on the table. Each conversation about the future made Zainab feel smaller, less important. She began to compare herself constantly to Aisha, measuring her own life against a friend's blessings. Admiration slowly transformed into silent jealousy. When it was time for university admission, Aisha succeeded easily. Her parents paid fees, arranged accommodation, and celebrated her future. Zainab also gained admission but could not afford the cost. Watching Aisha move forward while she remained behind broke something inside her. Lagos that suddenly felt unforgiving for her, a city where dreams began only to the privileged. University life reshaped Aisha in ways Zainab never imagined. Lagos Island became Aisha's new world. Busy mornings, lecturers, group discussions, and nights filled with ambition. She learned confidence, networking, and independence. Her assets softened, her dressing changed, and her dreams grew bigger. Meanwhile, Zainab remained in the same neighborhood. She took many jobs, helping in shops, cleaning offices, and sometimes selling small items by the roadside. Each day felt like a revival. When Aisha survived home during holidays, she spoke excitedly about opportunities, internships, and influential friends. Zainab listened quietly, smiling while something bitter twisted inside her chest. The bond between them stretched thin, though they still laugh, but silence often replaced misunderstanding. Equality had vanished. Zainab began comparing her life constantly to Aisha's. She compared clothes, speech, confidence, even the way people greeted them. Neighbors praised Aisha openly, calling her a role model. Zainab felt invisible. Lagos, with all its opportunities, seemed to have skipped her. She questioned God, faith, and friendship. Slowly, the admiration she had for Aisha's transformed fully into resentment. She no longer celebrated Aisha's success in her heart. After graduation, Aisha met Kunle, a handsome, ambitious, and wealthy man. Their relationship blossomed quickly. When he proposed, the news spread like wildfire. Their wedding began one of the biggest events the community had seen. Expensive decorations, celebrity guests, and endless joy. Zainab attended, dressed neatly but plainly. As she watched Aisha glow beside her husband, tears behind her eyes. That day, envy settled deeply into her soul. After the wedding, Zainab began visiting Aisha more frequently. She presented herself as the loyal friend who wanted to protect Aisha's happiness. But inside her heart, something dark had awakened. She replayed her failures repeatedly and blamed Aisha's success for her pain. Slowly, she convinced herself that if Aisha lost everything, they will be equal again. Zainab began offering advice whenever Aisha complained about marriage challenges. She exaggerated Kunle's faults, questioned his loyalty, and encouraged Aisha to assert dominance rather than seek peace. Her words sounded wise, caring, and protective. Aisha trusted her blindly, unaware that each conversation pushed her marriage closer to chaos. Kunle noticed changes in Aisha, her suspicions, her sudden anger, her refusal to communicate calmly. Arguments became frequent. Love slowly gave way to frustration. Zainab watched from a distance, satisfied whenever conflict arose. She felt powerful for the first time in her life. Misunderstandings multiplied. Silence filled their home where laughter once lived. Kunle considered walking away, while Aisha felt confused and emotionally exhausted. Zainab continued fueling the fire, pretending to be the shoulder Aisha leaned on. One evening, Kunle calmly traced the source of every major argument. He noticed they always followed conversations with Zainab. He quietly asked Aisha to observe quickly. Slowly, the truth emerged. Aisha's heart broke, not just for her marriage, but for the betrayal she had never suspected. Aisha confronted Zainab directly. Faced with truth, Zainab broke down. She confessed her envy, her bitterness, and her desire to see Aisha fall. Her tears flowed freely, but they could not erase the damage she had caused. Aisha made the hardest decision of her life. She chose her marriage and peace over a toxic friendship. She cut all ties with Zainab. The rejection shattered Zainab completely. She had lost the one person she was obsessed over. Life turned cruel. Zainab's father fell ill and died due to lack of funds for treatment. Soon after, her mother also died, broken by grief from the loss of her husband. Zainab was left alone, overwhelmed by loss and regret. Without family or support, Zainab lost her home. Jobs became scarce, friends disappeared. Lagos moved on restlessly. She wandered around crowded streets, feeling invisible among millions. At night, her memories haunted her. Memories of her childhood laughter, her shared dreams, and the friendship she destroyed. Regret became heavier than hunger. She realized envy had poisoned her soul long before it ruined her life. One quiet night, Zainab sat under a flickering streetlight, watching cars rush past her. She had lost everything: her parents, her friend, her dignity, and her future. In the end, Lagos swallowed her pain without mercy. Jealousy had taken all she has had, leaving her completely alone. Few moral lessons to be learnt from this story. Jealousy destroys the heart long before it destroys a life, and constant comparison steals joy while blinding people to their own purpose. Not every friend who offers advice desires your success, because unhealed pain can quietly turn love into resentment. When outsiders are allowed into personal or marital matters, peace is often the first casualty. Success has a way of revealing hidden intentions and testing the strength of true friendship. Poverty itself does not ruin people, but bitterness born from it can. Every action carries consequences, whether they appear immediately or much later. Choosing peace sometimes means walking away from familiar faces, and forgiveness does not always require reconciliation. Life moves on relentlessly, indifferent to personal pain, and evil intentions always return to the heart that nurtures them. Gratitude protects the soul from envy, and while circumstances may limit opportunities, it is mindset that ultimately shapes destiny. We have come to the end of the story. Please don't forget to like, support me by subscribing, share and comment on this my story. Kindly share to other people to watch. Thank you for watching. See you in my next story.